Good morning, amazing artists. Today we will begin our next project called the Bird in Cherry Tree Collage. You will be working in stations today. The first station, you'll be trying to create your bird body pieces. So you'll take each of the cutouts, you'll assemble them on your paper, and then trace with a pencil. You'll end up with a body, a wing, a head, and a tail. If you'd like to also draw a few circles for cherries on this paper, this would be a good time to do that because our red paint will be used here. So also add some cherries, even though I didn't show those. Using warm colors, red, orange, yellow, and possibly pink, we're going to be tracing all of these pieces and adding in some different patterns and designs to give our bird texture. So maybe you want this to look like feathers, or maybe you want to use polka dots or stripes. Whatever you think, get creative. This will be what your bird's body's feathers look like. A second station that you'll be working on is your branch. So for this, you're going to be using a pencil. You can decide if you want your paper horizontal or vertical. I will be drawing mine vertical. And you're going to just basically draw in a few branches. So the technique that I'm going to use is where when you want to make the branches split, you draw yourself a V and then continue the sides outward with some long lines to create that branch. But the V will make it look like a split happened in that branch. If you decide you want a second branch just to add more detail, go ahead and draw that. Remember, anything that you make here can get covered with leaves. You need a place for your bird to be sitting and also for several different leaves to be sprouting and cherries. Lastly, we're going to be outlining this with our dark brown oil pastel and adding in any texture or things that you want with resist. If you'd like to use white, remember that will resist the watercolor, which means that the watercolor will not absorb where this oil pastel is. So that would give the illusion of clouds. You might put in some blue squiggles or lines. The last thing you'll be doing at this station is just simply coloring in all of your background blue and your branches with the brown. At the last station, you'll use greens and yellows to design leaf patterns or leaf shapes. Then you'll be painting with green and yellow to give that color. By the end of today, day one, you will have a half sheet of paper where you've traced the parts of our bird body, given them texture with oil pastel, and painted them in with warm colors like your red, orange, and yellow. You will have a piece of paper where you've either drawn leaves specifically or you've just created lots of different textures using greens and yellows. And you will also have your full-size piece of paper where you drew in branches with brown and then painted that with blue sky. If you wanted to put detail like clouds or wind or any texture to the background, that was okay. You also didn't have to do that. You'll notice some texture even just gets made from the way that the watercolor spreads.
Tomorrow is when we will assemble our collages.